Jones. And we got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. While the medical staff checks on him, we'll step aside in this Week 1 contest. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They go play action with Jackson. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And the Ravens are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
A chance for a first touchdown drive of the year. It's 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson scoring on the keeper from 6 yards out. And the Ravens have cut the lead back down to 2. Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, both through the air and in the end with the touchdown run.
Yeah, how about him doing things a little bit on the reverse side there, Brandon, because he softened him up throwing the football and opened up the running lanes. And when he gets a little bit of a sliver, he's gone. And that's exactly what he did there.
Jackson here, he's going to look to throw. Throws right side. And he's got it. So they went ahead and went for 2 to tie the game, and it works out. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Bengals getting set to go. We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown. So every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second half. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 36. Moss on the give up the middle. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator. When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
That is caught. And he is going to have a Bengals first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Here we go. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. All square, 14 apiece to score as we get ready for the fourth quarter. They'll send the tight end in motion left. From the shotgun, it's Burrow.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Here's Burrow. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Mike Gesicki, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Bengals answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the fourth. So, Charles, this game feels like it has been punch, counter-punch all throughout, and that touchdown breaks our tie here in the fourth quarter.
You're making me want to get back in the gym and start training again. You talk about those punches and counter punches. I also think this is where you and I start thinking to ourselves, who's going to make the play to change that, right? Who's going to get out of this little cycle that they're in right now and make a play and give their team a firm advantage?
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Ravens offense back out there. And now after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. He'll get a yard. That's all as they get him down at the 28.
You know, it's not just all athleticism from defensive linemen. Let's give them a little credit for their football intelligence as well. Read and react by them, understood the play call, and stacked it up and stuffed the run.
Finds his man. It's Kohler. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Play action. Now Jackson. This will go to Henry out wide. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. And Charles, of interest here, that last throw is going to put him over 20,000 yards passing for his career. And that's not a bad number.
You're exactly right about that. And even though it's nowhere near the top of the leaderboard, because when you think about it, Brady and Breeze, they've done that 4 times over. But when you hit 20,000, let's face it, only a little over 100 guys have ever done that in the NFL. It's worthy of some applause.
Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. Jackson, option right. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. Caught by Jones. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Derrick Henry taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying this game here in the fourth. And we are set up for a fantastic finish now. A fourth quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth. What a start to the season this has been. Back and forth, all tied fourth quarter as the kick is away here. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bet. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Out of his hands quickly to Higgins. Calling a gain of 6 on the play. Now it's Burrow. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's third down. Now Burrow. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. They call it a loss of a yard there. And that's going to make it fourth down.
No surprise they decided to throw on third down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. The Ravens offense and Lamar Jackson set to take over once again. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes. And he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. Jackson. Right side and caught by Kohler. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And that's going to bring up second down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a third down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. Well, another fine run right there for Lamar Jackson. And, CD, that one puts him over 100 yards now for the ball game.
And remember when all we talked about were 100-yard games from running backs? That when a quarterback did it was a surprise? Well, Lamar Jackson, that's part of the package as well. He'll have as many 100-yard games in the season as the top running backs in the league.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. On the option right is Jackson. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Throwing is Jackson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 23. 15 yards there on the catch and run. From the gun, Jackson. Flushed out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now it's Jackson. This complete to Jones. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. This crowd turning up the decibel level. It's 3rd and long. Now the first carry here for the running back. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. So here comes Justin Tucker in a big spot. This for the lead in the final stages. Tucker's kick is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
So Burrow and the Bengals down 24-21, a minute 50 to play. This is only week 1 of the season, folks. Get strapped in as they come up here 1st and 10. Here's Burrow. Pass complete to Higgins. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Here's 2nd down and 3.
At the 32-yard line.
To throw, Burrow. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Able to complete to Moss. And this will not get close to the 1st down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. Open man is Higgins. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. And they'll indeed take a knee. And just how they envisioned the start of the season, kneeling it down, defense can't stop the clock. This one's a winner.
You know, it's really strange. I think a lot of people think that the kneel-down practice stuff really only happens like 1 time a week. The best teams I know, they practice it starting back in OTAs. They want them to visualize winning a game and how great that feels, and they got it done in this one.
Yep, a knee gets them to 1-0. Well, this was not just the opener of a brand-new season, but this was a division game here in Week 1, and to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season, and you open within the division. You knew the motivation was going to be there on both sidelines. One just executed better and earned the win.
So for Baltimore, they start the season with a great win on the road here in the Thursday opener. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.